Sylvia from Vintage Kitchen Vixen, where I share tips for simple living, creating memorable gatherings, and preparing wholesome and traditional recipes with a vintage twist. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make a bacon parmesan dandelion salad. As you saw, I already picked my greens. They are currently soaking in some vinegar water in my sink, so we'll be washing those together in a few moments, but first we're going to make the dressing. A dandelion salad cannot be simpler. You don't have to go to the store. You probably have everything you need on hand, unless you don't have bacon and parm. You don't even need those things. If you want, you can hard boil a couple eggs and serve those on top of the salad. You can roast or boil some potatoes and serve those alongside. I cut up some avocado today because I find that fat mixed with the bitterness of the dandelion greens works really well together. But you can add whatever you want to your salad, or you can just do it real simple and do it with the greens. Growing up, every spring my mom would make dandelion salad at least a couple of times. One thing that she did, she doesn't do it anymore, she would drizzle warm bacon grease on the dandelion greens because she swore that this made the dandelion greens more tender and it took away some of its bitterness. I don't know if that's actually true, but it is delicious, and so I sometimes do that when I have bacon on hand and I'm craving a dandelion salad. So that's what I did today. You can do it, you can not do it. It's totally up to you. It's your salad, so make your salad dreams come true. For the dressing, you can make whatever quantity you want. I like making larger quantities of dressing at a time, which is what I do whenever I make a salad on this channel. I usually end up with a small jar of salad dressing, and I love it because it's good for a whole month, if not longer. I almost never buy store-bought salad dressings just because most of them are full of unsightly ingredients, and it's so easy to make your own and to make it taste great. So if you want to make a smaller quantity for yourself, you can measure with a tablespoon, but I like doing it with the shot glass. Just remember that the formula is 3 parts oil to 1 part acid. So that acid can be lemon juice, it can be vinegar of your choice. It is up to you. And then you can season it with salt, pepper, with herbs, with garlic, with honey, with maple syrup, and I like adding just a little bit of mustard because mustard serves as an emulsifier, so it'll just help combine everything together. Normally I just shake it up in a jar, and I actually have a video that's all about making vinaigrettes from scratch, so you can check that out. I'll include it in the show notes below if you want to learn all about making your own vinaigrettes. But it is pretty simple, and once you figure it out for yourself, you probably won't go back to buying store-bought salad dressing. Now, a little bit about dandelions. Last year was my first year living on this property, and my neighbor commented on how many dandelions I had in my yard. And my neighbor, she has nary a dandelion to be seen. She's very meticulous about her lawn. She sprays it with like a pesticide or some kind of herbicide every year, so there are no weeds growing on her property, and it's really sad. I get really sad when I walk through my neighborhood and see lawns that have those little signs saying that the lawn has been treated with pesticides, just because those people are missing out on free, delicious greens. I mean, I have patches in my yard this year. Last year I ended up mowing almost everything down, but this year I have little patches of plants that aren't grass that I want to learn what they are. So I'm pretty excited to see what's going to be sprouting up. I already have things that are blooming. I think it's mostly fleecevane at this point, the little things that kind of look like chamomile flowers. Dandelions are one of the healthiest things that you can eat, and I assure you it's probably healthier than everything that is in your fridge. Certainly everything that's in my fridge, vegetables included. I really don't know who decided to declare a war on the dandelions, because they are one of nature's greatest gifts to us. They are full of vitamins and minerals, everything from vitamin A, E, B, D, C. They have magnesium, they have sulfur, they have manganese and calcium, and more than that. Like, I can't list them all. Dandelions are so good for us. Our livers, our kidneys, our stomachs, they love dandelions. They're very cleansing. The thing about dandelion leaves that you're going to find is that they are bitter, and a lot of us are a little bit adverse to bitter because we don't incorporate enough bitter foods in our diet, and it's a real shame because we need those bitter foods. Bitter foods help our bodies clear bile. They aid in digestion. They improve nutrient absorption. And there's an old adage that goes something like, if you're bitter, like if you're depressed, take bitters. I don't know if that's been backed up by any studies, but just passing that along. Another fun fact, dandelions are full of potassium. In fact, they have more potassium than bananas. With all that in mind, I really don't know who had the bright idea to declare a war on dandelions. Like, somebody in history pointed an angry finger at the dandelion and said, "I'm going to destroy you. You must go." So if you are picking dandelions yourself, make sure that you are picking from areas that are far away from the roadsides and that haven't been sprayed by pesticides or herbicides. The one thing to keep in mind is that if you are aiming for something that is less bitter, pick smaller, younger leaves, because the larger the leaf, the more bitter it is. And I mean, when you cut back the leaves, they're going to grow back, which is something I love because you have a never-ending supply of greens. If you don't have dandelion greens growing near you, or if they're out of season, you can often buy dandelion greens from the store. So whichever route you go, always make sure to give them a very good washing. I think I'll eventually dive deeper into dandelions in a future post, but for now this is where I'm going to end. I mean, there are so many things you can do with it. The leaves, you can steam them, you can eat them raw, you can add them to stir fries or to smoothies. The whole plant is edible. You can eat the stems, you can eat the flowers and the buds. I think it's one of the most useful plants that we have growing around us, and they're so common. It's wonderful. So if you have dandelions growing in your yard, I highly encourage you to try making a dandelion salad for yourself. The recipe for the salad, it is included in the show notes below, but if you do want to print off a copy for yourself, I'm also linking the recipe post in the show notes below so that you can grab the printable recipe card from there. Other than that, if you are new to the kitchen and this is your first time here, I really hope you enjoyed this video and that you hit subscribe and the bell notifications so that you never miss an episode of the kitchen. If you're coming back, thank you so much for joining me for another episode. As always, if you like this video, please hit the like button or drop a comment or share this video. It really helps me to grow this channel and to reach more people, so thank you. Other than that, I do put out one new video a week, so I will be seeing you real soon. Bye! I don't know who decided to call a war on dandelions. They were wrong.